Hey guys, Fly Girl VSG coming into you with my official 1-year Surgiversary post-op video. I wish I could explain to you how weird this is. I actually had kind of forgotten it. I mean, I had my follow-up appointments on, I'm going to open the blinds here just a second. There we go, a little brighter. I had my 1-year post-op doctor's appointments on Wednesday. I was like, okay, you know, all that went well. I already talked about that already, but I woke up this morning and I didn't think about it until like 11 or maybe even a little later. And then I've just been really quiet, like, with that. I feel really reflective today. A little overwhelmed. I've been overwhelmed most of the year, don't get me wrong. I don't talk about it a lot. I think I talk about it a lot with my closer friends, but I don't really express it a lot on Facebook just because I really kind of am more of a watch and listen than I am an active contributor to some of the weight loss community stuff. I mean, I do contribute, but I'm not as present on Facebook as lots of other people are within the weight loss surgery community, but yeah. Anyway, so I wanted to just kind of start with some numbers since I usually start my videos that way, and then I'm going to talk about a couple of things. It may be a little long. I may break this up into 2 videos, so we'll see what happens. But I wanted to give you an idea of where I'm at progress-wise in terms of overall weight loss, inches lost, and some other measurements of that thing. I don't actually know what my body fat is right now. I should have asked when I was at my 1-year post-op, but I didn't. So I will have to report back to you on that another time. But 365 days ago, I had vertical sleeve gastrectomy, December 5th, 2013. It is now December 5th, 2014. Holy shit. I have lost 108 pounds since the 2-week pre-op diet, which was November 21st, 2013. I have lost, and I'm going from my lowest recorded weight. I'm about 1.2 pounds up from that right now. So I'm at 192.8 is what I'm counting. I'm at 194 right now. But I'm counting that 192.8 because I think, you know, I'll be there this week. So I am 126 pounds down from my ever highest recorded weight that I'm aware of, which was 319 pounds, probably in 2004. So, you know, 10 years ago, and I lost some weight and kept most of that weight off for most of the time since then anyway, it doesn't matter. I've talked about the history of my weight loss and weight gain, so we don't need to go back to that. But 108 pounds since I started the 2-week pre-op diet, 126 pounds since my very heaviest recorded weight. I have lost a total in the last 365 days of 72.5 inches. And that's on just the things that I've been recording, because there's a couple of measurements I have only been recording since the 12-week weight loss, since the 12-week weightlifting challenge started, like my shoulder circumference. So in the last 9 weeks, I've lost 3.2 inches there. I've counted that towards my total inches lost, but I did not count that in the beginning. I've only been counting that for 9 weeks. So, you know, I'm sure it's more. But some of the more, no, I'm just going to kind of go over because I don't measure a ton of things. But my neck, I've lost 2.75 inches. My chest over my breasts are 12 inches. My chest under, like my bra line here, well, you can't really see it, but is 8.5 inches. I've lost 10 inches off my waist, almost a foot. That's crazy. I've lost 14 inches off my hips. I've lost 8.25 inches off my thigh, 5 inches off my calf, 6.75 inches off my bicep. I mean, that's a half a foot I've lost off my fucking upper arm. That's unbelievable. 2.25 inches off my forearm. And like I said, in the last 9 weeks, I've lost 3.25 inches just around my shoulder circumference. So I'm sure it's more than that. Probably based on these numbers, closer to 8 to 10. But I'm not counting that because I did not measure it. So total loss of 72.5 inches. I also went from a tight size 24. I'm currently a size 12, 14. Mostly 12, but sometimes still 14. I went from a 9, like on my ring finger, a size 9 ring, to a 6.5 or 7. I actually haven't measured, but most of my 8s and 7.5s are too big. I went from a size 10 shoe to a 9.5 shoe. I have no idea if I'll lose. I hope I don't, because I've bought shoes, but yeah. So that's a big deal. Those are all things. Those are all my measurements. Other things I kind of wanted to talk about in terms of, I'm just going to kind of start with the kind of the negative stuff first. And it's not even negative, just things maybe I didn't expect along the way, and then I'll end obviously with the good stuff, because it's all good. But things I didn't really expect along the way in terms of this process was I was naively did not expect the hair loss to affect me. I started taking biotin about 3 months before surgery. Will take biotin until this bottle that I have now runs out, and then I won't take it anymore. So I will have taken it for over a year by the time I finish. Hair loss did not start to affect me until month 6 or 7. And now obviously I'm in month 12. And it's just now, I mean, in the last 6 weeks really bothered me. My hair is completely different in terms of how much of hair I have. It's completely different. Like a bun looks different, a ponytail looks different. I've had to cut my hair differently. I don't like it. I mean, you can't really, I can tell though, like anyway, so I wasn't expecting that. I really kind of thought that because it hit me so late that I was going to be one of the lucky, I don't know if anyone's ever one of the lucky ones. I think hair loss affects most of us, but I really thought maybe I lucked out, but I was wrong. I was wrong. And I have no new growth at this point, a year out. So I am really hoping that kicks in at some point. Please. I was not expecting, I knew that hormones would happen. I was not expecting, I don't think that you can expect how those hormones will affect you. I did not expect to be spotting more days a month than not. I was not expecting to be frustrated and withdrawn in my relationship, which I have been. I was not expecting the ways in which I would view my relationship differently. I'm still in process with that. I don't want to get too much into it for privacy purposes, but I love my person a lot. My boyfriend is so supportive of me. Every single day he tells me how proud he is of me, how hot I look, how beautiful I am, how inspirational I am to him, that I am the light of his life every day. And yet I have so much going on that in my head and in my head, not in my heart, have not entertained any other person, but you know, it's just I think in combination of the hormones and in combination of thinking of this person forever, because we've gotten a lot more serious in the last year. We've been together 5 years and things have just gotten serious. Freaks me out, and I'm really asking the question to myself a lot. Is this it? Is this what I want? Is this enough? So I wasn't, but the hormones being added into that, and I think some of that thought process is a side effect of the surgery, just, which I'll get into, a little bit later, but, yeah, I've been, this year's been the best year of my life, and I was talking to my boyfriend about this today, about how, you know, he's excited for 2015, and he said that, you know, you hang in, that there'll be ups and downs to be expected, but, you know, that he's excited for the year, and I said that I felt there were a lot of up and downs in 2014 too, not just with us. I mean, there certainly were with he and I, but within myself, and that you hang in, you know, you hang in and you work through the tough times, and you really, really experience and love and appreciate the good times. There's been a lot of emotion for me this last year, but the bad part of that does not nearly outweigh the good part of this year and all the good things that have come from making these changes. I can't believe I'm going to cry. I'm not even like a crier that much. So that's what I told him, like, that it's been hard for me and I've had a difficult time with some stuff, and he is not privy to most of that. I've kept that pretty internal or with my closest friend, but anyway, moving on. Those are the things that I really wasn't expecting as much. I also wasn't expecting, and this is not necessarily a bad thing, but definitely mindfuck-wise. Sorry. Some residual wetness going on. I wasn't expecting to have such a differential between how I see myself and how I am. So I thought that I would lose this weight and I'd just be like, oh girl, you look great. You know, Let me get this a little closer to me. But I do think that sometimes, especially because other people tell me, and especially because I have a very flattering mirror. Sometimes I see myself out and I'm like, wow, okay. And other times I see myself out or in a photo and I'm like, oh. I mean, like, when I saw myself in photos at 275, 300 pounds, I did not respond like that. I mean, very rarely did I see a photo of myself and go, you know, like, that's awful. But when I see a photo of myself now, sometimes I'm like, oh, I thought I looked cute that day. Like, ugh, that's not good. And it's almost like disgust. It's really, really weird. The psychological ramifications of losing 100 pounds in a year, even though that's not really that fast. I mean, that's only 10 pounds. That's 11 pounds a month. Less than 11 pounds a month I've lost. Like, yeah, less than 11. Is that right? 10 pounds. Not even 10 pounds. Let me do the math. 108 divided by 12. And really it's 12 and a half because I'm counting the 2-week pre-op diet, right? So 108 divided by 12 and a half is really 8.6 pounds a month. That's not rapid. I mean, the rapid part was the first 4 months, and then it's been fucking slow as fuck since then. But, sorry for all my cursing. Okay, so, things that happened this year or changes that were made that are really, really awesome. I have no shame talking about weight, about how much I weigh, I would have never told anyone in a million years I weighed 275 pounds, 300 pounds, 290, whatever. Not just like randomly. Now I'm like, oh yeah, you know, I'm 192. I mean, that's not even a small weight. That's not even a small weight. And I have no shame about it. Like, I don't even care. I'm so proud of that number. Like, no one else needs to know that, but I've worked what I did to get that, you know? I think it's amazing and weird to fit into normal sized clothing. I feel like I have something in my teeth. I feel like a normal sized person. Not mostly, but like when I go shopping, I'm a little like perplexed. Like, what am I doing here? You know, this is a large shirt from Old Navy. Like, you know, it actually fits. It did not fit this well when I bought it. Like, it's so bizarre to just be able to go into any store. I think I had mentioned this, but I went into Banana Republic a couple weeks ago with Christina VSG and Jennifer Mahoney, and I bought a shirt there, a medium-sized shirt, and, like, what the fuck? Like, I could fit into a shirt, like, at Banana Republic, which I have never stepped into that store ever in my life, not once, because I never fit into the clothes there, so why bother? So it's amazing. I'm like, oh my god, I can shop anywhere. And it's also it's totally weird. It's totally weird. It totally blows my mind. I know that if you guys have gone through this journey and are about where I'm at, like, or a couple months out, like, you know what I'm talking about. But, if you're new to this process or not quite in, not out of plus size clothes yet, like just wait. I can't describe what I'm trying to say, but just wait. It's so incredible. Another thing is that since surgery, and I've eaten healthy for a long time prior to surgery, I was a pretty strong paleo eater. I did eat a lot. My portion sizes were completely out of control compared to how I eat now. Not out of control, but out of, well, yeah, I guess. I mean, I eat a lot more food than I did now. So it probably wasn't so much what I was eating that maintained my heavy weight. It was how I was eating, how much I was eating. And I did binge eat because I had the stomach to do that. And this brings me to two of my things that I'm grateful for this year is I want to eat better even when I don't eat better. So think about that. Like, some days I graze and I snack all day. Some days I do that. I mean, I do. I don't eat a gallon of ice cream a day because I physically cannot, which is the other thing I was going to say, which is that I'm super, super, super grateful for my inability to, my physical inability to binge eat. But you learn how to eat past your sleeve really early on in this. You do. I did. I learned how to eat past my sleeve by 2 months out. I get to choose whether I eat past my sleeve or not. And I don't just mean eat past comfort physically. I also mean, which I also learned that lesson too because I threw up a lot, you know, and I still do throw up sometimes. Not a lot, but sometimes. But lighter foods, moist foods, you know, eating every 2 hours. You know, you can eat a quarter cup or half a cup every couple hours, 3 hours. But should you? I mean, I do eat 4 times a day, usually, but, you know, which puts me at about every 3.5 to 4 hours, but if I wanted to graze, I could graze. I know how to do that. I know how to maintain a level of fullness that is not discomfort and doesn't come anywhere near hungry, also. But you have to make the choice, and that's the thing, another thing I'll talk about in a minute. This is getting long, I know. I'm going to, let's see, I don't want to hurry, but I have so much to say. It's been a whole year, you know? Oh my God. Oh my God. So, but on the days that I do snack like that, on the days that I do eat ice cream, on, like, a lot of ice cream. Not a lot, like a cup, you know, like, but still that's 2 serving sizes of ice cream. I can eat a cup of ice cream, trust me. I shouldn't because I'm allergic to it, but I do. And I have. And sometimes I make allowances for that. It's peppermint ice cream season. I love peppermint ice cream and Hershey's chocolate syrup. I work extra hard on those days, or I eat less in the mornings, or something like that, to accommodate my wanting to have that treat. But I also eat 1 cup, which is still 2 serving sizes, but it's also half the serving size of what I would have eaten before. So, but my point is that I graze like that, or I go through phases where I'm PMSing, or I'm on, you know, Shark Week or whatever, and I don't feel good. You know, it doesn't feel right. So even when I'm not making good choices for a day or 2 or 3 days, I want to make good choices. So it's so much easier for me to get back on that bandwagon and be like, well, those couple days are over now and today's a new day, or this is a new meal. You know, okay, I ate like shit all day and now it's dinner time and I get the choice of having a healthy soup or some chicken breast or salad versus chicken wings or going out to dinner or whatever. So, you know, those are choices that I make much more easily now. And I've been waiting for that mind shift my whole life I've been waiting for that my whole life, to not beat myself up over those days. You know, like Thanksgiving. I ate on Thanksgiving. I had like 4 pieces of pie from Thursday, Friday, Saturday to Sunday. 4 days, basically a piece of pie each day. Finally, I threw out the last piece of pie and all my other leftovers. I have no shame about that. I threw them away. I didn't want them in the house. I was alone in the house. There was no point in having stuffing, potatoes, pie, things that I was gonna eat. Those aren't protein foods. I ate them for 4 days. I felt like I'd had enough. I didn't feel well. I had no feeling of hunger at that point. But come Monday, you know, Sunday night when I threw everything out, when Monday morning hit, I didn't want it. I was on board. I didn't even think about it. I had my protein shake for breakfast. Did I go to the gym that day? I don't know. I went this week, but I got back on board and I didn't beat myself up for all the shit that I ate over the weekend, because those 3 or 4 days were over. There's no point, because in the past, and think about it, I mean, I think a lot of us do this, and I see some of my family members do this too, like that cycle, of I feel bad, I need food to comfort myself, I eat like shit to comfort myself, I feel temporarily better, right? And then now I feel guilty for having eaten like shit, so now I feel bad, now I need comfort, and so then I eat to comfort myself, I feel temporarily better, blah, 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 right? And I just don't do that anymore. I will say this, the more carbs I eat, the more carbs I want to eat, but that's a brain thing. That's like a chemical reaction to food that most of us have, because sugar, carbs, white, refined food is like crack, is like drugs, and I'm not an exception to that rule. So I try to keep those things limited in my diet. I'm not always successful over the 4 days of Thanksgiving. I had like a piece of bread every day. But then it's like, okay, now move on. And, there's room in my diet for those things, and I try to save them for special occasions or eating out or whatever. But really, do I want to waste what room I have in my belly for a piece of bread when I want to nourish my body? I really do. So I'm grateful for that. I wonder if I should move this to a second, like a part 2, because I still have so much more to say. Okay, I'm going to just quit this now, and I'm going to make a part 2, and I'm going to keep talking about things that I'm super excited about this year, and then I'm also going to talk a little bit about what keeps me motivated and some basic questions I got like a couple weeks ago, some ideas of things people wanted me to say, and what to expect if you're new on this journey. Other than all of these amazing changes. So I'll be back in a few minutes. Well, I'll be back. I'm just going to, anyway. There'll be a part 2. I'll see you. Keep it fly. Bye.